Hello and welcome back to Space Rangers 2 Space Rangers 2 HD with me, your host Imperialis. So I learned a valuable lesson as to why I'm not running this game with Iron Man mode on, because when I tried to record this before, I went down to the planetary battle tutorial and the music was ear-bleedingly loud. Hopefully I've got that fixed now. It turns out I actually had to change the planetary battles music independently from the music in the rest of the game, so hopefully that's sorted out now, and when I try and record it this time you will actually be able to hear me, which would be absolutely fantastic. One other thing I learned too is when you go into a planetary battle, it actually automatically makes a cut in the video, so that was interesting. Fortunately it just records as AVIs, so it should be fairly easy to join them and link them back together, so this won't be a 2-minute long video. But anyhow, we will continue with the last tiny bit of our training here, which is ground combat. And the ground combat for this is a real-time strategy game. Not an exceptionally good one, but well, you'll see when we get to it. Anyhow, he's telling me to go over to the History Research Station and check things out there, because they're going to give me some information about the Dominators. But that's not what I want to worry about trying to do now. Instead, we're going to pop back into the government. And one of the other things, too, is when you go to the government here, I just noticed this, they'll oftentimes tell you if they have a surplus in something. So in this case he's saying, do visit our store, we have prepared a shipment of medical supplies especially for you. No less than 157 units of the highest quality merchandise. So if I go to the store, they have 157 units, but you see they're still selling it for 40 credits, or 39 credits a piece, which isn't really something I want to muck about with. Now these luxuries, because I found them anyhow, and it's telling me I can sell them for a good price. I'm just going to do that, though. And I will buy the Technics. As many as I can, at least. It drops me down to 20 bucks left in my bank account, but that's okay, because we are about to earn some more money. So, have you any special missions for me? And now it is time to practice. You have many battles ahead of you, but before you can take on serious missions, you must first learn the basics of robot war tactics. The first thing you need to learn that the best way to fight machines is with other machines. Our job in this equation is simple, controlling them. We will now give you a robot production facility. These machines are strong, but utterly without intellect. Our engineers have developed 3 basic programs for them: attack, capture, and defend. Putting your robot into one of these 3 modes nets you an autonomous unit. Of course, you don't have to actually use them. If you are a good strategist, you will be able to command your robots personally. Your objective is to force your way through the obstacles, destroy the enemy combat models, and raise their base to the ground. We wish you luck. Remember, you're not actually in any danger. It's just training, Imperialis, so be brave. And then you've got the options here. You can actually reject these entirely and never have to deal with a ground combat mission. And quite a few people do that because the ground combat is, for one, quite difficult, and for another, like I said, it's not the greatest RTS in the world. However, I'm going to accept them, because especially in the later game, it is one of the only ways to earn significant amounts of money. So with that, I will take the mission, and then he's going to give me an option of getting reinforcements or getting extra resources, or no help at all. Picking either of these 2 will cut down on your overall pay at the end, but it does help you out if it's going to be a particularly tough fight. I'm not going to, especially not on the training mission. But, yeah, like he says, we can put a coat of armored nanites on the frame of your robots, and they can withstand enemy attacks better. Or our transport choppers will be supplying you with robot reinforcements regularly, and I can make them come down quicker. But I don't need any help because I am a hero! And now this is probably going to cut the video, so we'll... And we're back. If there's a cut in the video, then you won't have noticed that, but yeah, so this is the ground combat. It's an RTS. It's not the greatest RTS in the world, like I said. It is definitely not very well optimized. I'm apparently running at about 20 frames per second here right now, and that's with nothing going on. So, I will be your instructor. I will teach you how to wage combat on the ground. You are given one robot production facility which you can use to build a small robot army. The color of your robots is yellow. Enemy robots may be red, green, or blue, reflecting the main colors of the Dominator series. These are training targets installed in front of your base. Before moving into action, take control of one of your robots to learn its movements and combat abilities. Then move out and capture a couple of factories that yield resources for the enemies. This is not going to be easy. The robot models are designed for combat and will pose resistance. Eventually, you will see the main enemy base. Once you crush the resistance, order your robots to capture it. Now go, Imperialis, and if you find yourself in a pickle, call reinforcements and our helicopters will deliver our best robots to your aid. So, one of the neat things about this is you actually design your robots from scratch. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different hulls to choose from. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different leg systems to choose from, as well as a whole whack of different weapons. Generally speaking, what I do is I build a couple of relatively inexpensive assault bots. I give them 2 missile launchers and a module up on their head here that gives them a bit of extra armor. And then I will give them tracks for the added armor. It makes them move very slow, but they can withstand a bit more damage this way. And then I will build 4 of them to start with. Now the next thing I'm going to do is design another robot using the same body, but instead of giving it weapons, I'm going to give it 2 repairers and no module on its head. And I'm going to give it a little hovercraft module to move around so it can move a bit quicker. And I'm going to build 1 of them for now. And the other nice thing too is it does actually save your different robot design types. So there's the first one I built, the second one I built. And so you don't have to completely redesign the robots each time they are put together. So as they build here, now that I've got my assault bots, I'm going to assign them to a control group, just like every other RTS under the planet. Assign my repair bot to another control group. And I'm not going to bother shooting at the practice targets. Just going to start advancing these guys up. The repair bot will automatically try and repair my units when they get damaged. And the AI in this training mission is very, very passive. It's just going to come and attack. Or it'll just garrison its base until I move close enough to warrant a response. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's definitely not the... It ain't StarCraft, let's put it that way. Nope, I don't want him getting damaged. Keep him in the back lines. There we go. But yeah, for what it is, I mean, considering this was released in, what, 2004? I've seen worse RTSs than this released as a full game, so... Just going to give it a moment or two here to heal up my bots. Now, this is the first enemy resource structure, and it gathers the resources. You've got Titan, which is metal, microchips, energy batteries, and plasma. And those are your basic resources that you use to build your different bots. Different chassis types and whatnot require different types and amounts of resources. So I'm going to try and keep my bots relatively out of harm's way here. Come on, shoot it. There we go. As they get damaged, I'll try and pull them back to keep them healthy. First turret is down. Time to go and heal up a bit more. Nobody's heavily damaged. Well, he's got a fair bit of damage on him, but... One of the other neat things you can do too is actually take over manual controls, and it actually turns into a weird little, almost third-person shooter. See if I can't get an angle on this guy, because the missiles have very long range. So I should be able to actually take this guy out from out of his effective range. This would take for frickin' ever though to... I'm not even hitting him. There we go, now we're in range. So now I can do some damage to him. Exit out of that, it's kind of boring. Come on guys, go attack it. So now that I have a bit more resources, I'll order him to capture this target, and I'm going to go down and build a few more bots. Do a quick upgrade on this guy. Give him extra missile launchers, or an extra missile launcher, and I'll build 2 more of them. And just like every other RTS under the sun, you right click and come on, there we go. Right click to move, attack, that sort of stuff. You can build defensive turrets as well. Select that, build a defense turret. It doesn't really matter in this case because the enemy doesn't attack, but on other missions having a good defensive line is definitely an advantage. And we'll see if we can't bait these guys in to come and attack me. Here they come. Pull back a bit. And they blew up one of my robots. That's okay. And now I've got my light cannon joining in the fray. Okay, and I trashed a bunch of robots there, so let's build some more. I'm gonna actually swap out one of his guns here for a laser. It does pretty decent damage, and not quite as long ranged as the missiles, but Get everybody moved up together, and we'll take this second base. Maybe the other thing I'll do too is build a second, where did he go? A second repair bot. Take over manual control here, see if I can't get this turret taken down out of range. I can. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean the turrets, if you can outrange them, they effectively do no damage. Perfect. Exit out of this, reselect my group. As you can see, the AI is far from stellar. They just sort of mob in on the enemies as quick as they can.
Reinforcement ready to flow.
And now that I've got that facility as well, I'll go and try and lure these guys down to come and fight. You can see there's quite a few more enemy bots here. This is a bit of a tougher fight. So actually, in anticipation, I'm gonna start the fight, but in anticipation of me taking more losses, I'm gonna build some more. Oh, I can't build anymore. Heal up a bit more. And advance. So we've got a big walker there with what looks like some pretty heavy artillery. Slowly creep our way closer to it, try and get him to aggro. Come on, bud. Ah, there we go. That ticked them off. And here they come. So you can see that kind of tore through my entire army there. But I should have enough resources now that I can build some more these guys. And if I can, maybe build a couple more of my heal bots. Can't. What am I short on? I'm short on metal. Should be able to build at least one. Oh, and he's in the process of getting himself killed. Decided to take on the turrets by himself. Probably not the cunningest of plans there, Mr. Robot. Advance my replacement army up, and we should have this largely in the bag. Just a matter of waiting for them to slowly crawl their way up over to the enemy base. And the pathfinding has him stuck behind these guys, so that's why he's moving so slow. Normally the little hovercraft thing zips around pretty quickly, but not in that case. So, attack that. I mean, there's lots and lots of different strategies that you can come up with for how you build your bots and things like that, but this works well enough for me. I just need to capture their base, and I'll have won.
Enemy base captured. Mission complete.
So, the robots are history. Good job, Imperialis. Get some well-deserved rest and report to the government building in the morning. Fix. So, like I said, these missions pay very well. That's 7,680 credits for doing that, where the enemy wasn't even aggressive. They are quite difficult, though, so yeah. But that is not all. We must admit that the successful completion of this task is worthy of any Ranger. As an added bonus, the Ranger Center Network Coordination Council would like to give you a special gift, the Micromodule Far Shooter. It's a level 3 micromodule, reduces the lag effect of the weapon's corrective systems, increasing firing range. So the way that works is I go to my ship here, and then I've got this micromodule, and it'll increase the firing range of any weapon by 25. So something like this fragmentation cannon has a 216 radius, and I can't remember what the range of the missile launchers are, but it's pretty bloody far. But you add that onto a weapon, and then it makes it a little bit better. So, that's, this probably wasn't the longest video in the world, but I think I'm going to put a cut in here. I need to go and get ready for work, so I should do that. I'm just going to go with my newfound money and buy up the rest of these materials, at least until I can't cram any more in the hull. But with that, I'm going to put a cut in, and I will see you guys later. Cheers!